I've been working with plant medicines in various different forms since I was 21 years old. And this is why I believe in plant medicine. This is why I believe in the power of healing with plants and what my personal relationship with plant medicine has been. Recently, I did another mushroom trip for the first time in over 3 years. I'm not going to say shroom trip. I'm going to say mushroom trip because that is the most respectful way to speak about this sacred medicine. I did a 6-hour mushroom trip, and I want to share with you why I decided to do it and what it taught me about myself and how it changed me. So here we go. Why did I decide to do mushrooms at this time in my life? There are many reasons, but the biggest reason is I wanted to go home to myself. As a queer person, I've been through a lot of trauma and a lot of grief around my identity, my expression, my attractions, my relationships. And there's been a lot of times in my life where I felt disconnected from myself. I've felt disconnected from my body, my emotions, my mind, my spirit, my higher wisdom. And one of the most significant times in my life that I felt really disconnected was when I went through puberty and coming into my identity. When I went through puberty, I got really unhappy for many years. I gained weight and I became very unwell, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And I had a lot of trauma around my body because of all of the severe bullying that I endured in middle school and high school around my body and being gay. And I have been doing a lot of work around my body in the last 2 years, and I feel ready. I feel like I'm in a good place with my body image, feel the healthiest and happiest I have been in my body, and I'm in a good place with accepting myself for who I am. But I wanted to go home to myself. I wanted to go deeper into my soul. I wanted to connect with the parts of me that felt really broken, and just love them, and be with them, and hold space for them, and integrate them back into the beautiful tapestry that is me. And I also wanted to honor my ancestors. A lot of my queer ancestors were indigenous and shaman people. They were Lakota, Sioux, Cheyenne, and Arapaho, and they used plant medicines like tobacco, sage, sweetgrass, and cedar, and peyote to connect to spirit and to connect with each other. And so I wanted to honor them by doing the same thing that they did and using mushrooms as a plant medicine to connect with spirit and connect with myself. Why did I know it was going to be really hard? Because I've worked with plant medicine before. I've done ayahuasca 7 times, and I know that plant medicine is not easy. It's not supposed to be easy. Plant medicine is a teacher, and it will push you out of your comfort zone, and it will show you things within yourself that need to be healed. And I knew that that's what I wanted. I wanted to see what else needed to be healed inside of me, and loved, and accepted, and integrated. Because when you do these plant medicines, you do not always go to a shaman or a temple and someone gives it to you in a tea. You take a big spoonful of medicine, or a block of mushroom chocolate, and you get to choose what you do with it. You can run, you can hide, you can stay in your room and pull the covers over your head and cry. You can stay in your room and dance and sing and celebrate. You can choose how you want to interact with the medicine. And so I knew it was going to be really hard. I knew I was going to face some demons, but I didn't know how hard it was going to be. Oh, my God. It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life. The physical symptoms weren't even the worst part. Those were really intense. I had waves of nausea. I was sweating profusely. I had chills. I felt like I was dying. I threw up twice. I laid on the bathroom floor for an hour alone and told myself I could do it. But those physical symptoms, while really scary and really those were really easy to sit with compared to the emotional and psychological symptoms that I experienced. I cannot describe to you how difficult it was to sit with my own pain, with my own trauma, with my own fears, with my own grief. And I wasn't able to move for 5 hours. I couldn't leave my room. I couldn't talk to anyone. I couldn't eat or drink anything. I couldn't even watch TV. I could not look at anything except the rug in front of me with some sacred music in the background. And it was excruciatingly painful to be in my own skin. And sometimes I wanted to run away from it all. Sometimes I wanted to die. Sometimes I wanted to cut off my limbs and gouge out my eyes. And then other moments I felt unconditional love. And I felt peace. And I felt acceptance. And I felt gratitude. And I felt connected to everything and everyone and nothing. And I felt so much joy. And I remember dancing in the middle of my room and feeling like I was one with the universe. So what happened in the end? In the end, I survived. It took 5 hours, and I survived. And when I came down, I cried tears of relief, tears of gratitude, tears of joy, tears of sadness, tears of heartbreak. I cried for the past few days. I cried so much. And then after I cried, I started to heal. I started to process all of those emotions and experiences I just had. And then I started to become more of who I am becoming. Will I do it again? 100% yes. I will never, ever stop working with plant medicine. I will never stop working with mushrooms. I will never stop deepening my relationship with these beautiful, sacred teachers. And I hope that one day soon I will be able to lead others on their own healing journeys with mushrooms and other plant medicines. My lesson. My most powerful lesson around mushrooms is that when you ingest any kind of plant medicine, it goes to where your awareness is. If you are aware of your body, the medicine will go to your body. If you're aware of your emotions, the medicine will go to your emotions. If you are aware of your mind, the medicine will go to your mind. If you are aware of your spirit, your higher wisdom, your higher truth, the medicine will go there. And so wherever your awareness is, whatever you're focused on, whatever you're paying attention to, that's where the medicine will go, and that's what will get healed. Would I recommend this for everyone? No. Plant medicine is not for everyone. Ayahuasca is not for everyone. Mushrooms are not for everyone. Weed is not for everyone. There are certain people that should not work with these medicines, and I would never tell someone to work with them if I did not think they were ready. And I definitely did not think I was ready until I had done a lot of healing work around my body image and my identity and my past traumas, and I still was not ready because it was the hardest thing I have ever done in my entire life. And I think that's okay. I think that's beautiful. I think that being uncomfortable is where growth happens. And I'm still growing from that experience every single day. I hope you enjoyed my story. I hope it was helpful. I hope it was inspiring. Would love to hear from you. Have you ever done mushrooms? Would you like to? What are your thoughts on mushrooms? Would love to talk about it. Let's normalize talking about psychedelics, and let us break the stigma around psychedelics. And let's talk about how they can be used in a safe, consensual, loving way to help heal ourselves and our planet.